Hello everyone, good morning. Can anyone confirm audible or not? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So where we stopped in the last session? What we discussed the last session? We discussed about the lambda functions, right? Yes or no? We discussed about the lambda functions. At the same time, we started like map method, I guess. Last time, did you remember? We discussed about the map. Yes or no? Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the syntax lambda function syntax? Anyone remember? Lambda function syntax. Lambda functions another name is what? What is the another name? Lambda functions another name?
Anonymous functions.
It's a kind of anonymous functions, right? Okay, anonymous functions means there is no name, nothing. Okay, so syntactically how it is looks like, how the lambda functions are looks like syntactically. Syntactically how the functions are looks like. There has one keyword is there. What is the keyword name?
Lambda.
Lambda is the keyword. After that,
Column.
if you have a parameters, you can add parameters, any number of parameters you can add it. After that, okay, if you don't have, just leave it. After that, you can write the statement or not. Okay, if you write like this, it's a valid or invalid. It is a valid or invalid. Come on, it is 100% valid. Okay, it is equals to normal function. How it looks like the equivalent normal function. The equivalent normal function. Come on, equivalent normal function. How it looks like? Anyone? Equivalent normal function. How it looks like? Right, df fn. After that, indentation. Next, return 10 or not. In the lambda function, whatever the statements, okay, that means only one statement it's going to allow. Whatever the statement you can write it. By default, that particular statement is treated like what? A return value or not? Yes or no? This lambda function returns me what? 10. This is equals to this named function or not? Agreed with me all? In the lambda function, how many statements we can write? In the lambda function body, how many statements we can write? In the lambda function body, how many statements you can write? Come on. In the lambda function body, how many statements you can write? Only one, maximum only one statement you can write it or not. That statement also it's like a written value or not. It's a written statement. Okay, let me open our workspace folder. So already we completed, right? Go to this. Where is our workspace folder? Workspace, go to Python, go to this. Can I open our Jupyter notebook? All are able to configure Jupyter notebook. If it is not work in your local machine, no problem. You can go with what? Google Colab. How you can run it? Come on. Jupyter notebook or not? Jupyter notebook. Okay, just wait. Okay, meanwhile, can anyone answer what is the default arguments? Okay, what is default argument? When you can go with the default argument? Different types of arguments, tell me. Anyone? Different types of arguments. Different types of arguments. Formal. Another one. Actual arguments. Okay, that one leave it. Next four are important. Formal and actual. Yeah, one is like positional arguments. Another one is like default arguments. Another one is like keyword arguments. Next. Okay, variable length argument. Next, keyword variable length arguments or not. Yes or no? When you can go with the default argument? When you can go with the default argument? While calling a function, one value is common for all. One value. While calling a function, you want to pass some data to the function. How we can pass the data to the function while calling? As a parameter. One parameter value is like common. Okay, last example we discussed, like item cost is like 100, any item is like 100 rupees only. Then that time, okay, can I set the default value for that particular parameter? Yes or no? Okay, so let's open our notebook. Which one? This is the one, right? Function part 2. Lambda functions are this one, I guess. Let me open that. Yeah, now we are here, right? We are here. So when you can go with the map, when you can go with the map, when you can go with the map, last time discussion, very simple. I have 5 student marks. These are my 5 students total marks, 400, 450, like that. I have 5 students total marks. Okay, but in our exam, okay, in our BTech, any one of the question which came from out of syllabus, then what happened? Actually, they are going to give the bonus marks or not for each and every student. Simply think like that. For every student, they're given like a 5 marks as like a bonus. If they given 5 marks bonus, then that time you are able to hear me now? So I have a list of okay marks. I want to add 5 for each and every student or not. Each and every student marks I want to add 5. So how we can add it? That is the question. How we can add it? Come on. So first, I have 5 student marks, right? First, can you get the first student mark? How we can get the first student mark? Okay, in the list, first element you have to get it. Once you get the first student marks, 400, to that 400, you have to add what? You have to add like 5. Yes or no? Okay, after that, 450, second student marks, I want to add like 5. Like that, you have to iterate each and every element or not. You have to iterate each and every element. So how we can achieve this requirement to get the output 405, 455? Okay, this one, how we can achieve means there has one predefined method is there that is called as a map. For example, okay, if I write like this, what is my output? If I write like this, if I execute this one, what is my output? Can anyone guess? If I execute this one, what is my output? It gives me an error, is like map is not defined. If I write like this, what is my output? It is not gives me any error. So what is the difference between this one and this one? See, MAPP I am not defined. MAP also I am not defined. Okay, but MAPP returns me an error. Is like what? Name MAPP is not defined, but map is not gives me any error. What is the difference between this one and this one? This member and this member, you not defined, both you not defined. MAPP also you not defined, MAP also you not defined, but here you get the error, but here you not get the error. What is the difference between this one and this one? Means you not defined, at the same time it is not a predefined member also. First, if you not defined, at the same time it is not defined by the Python also, then the time you can get the error. Here you not defined, but this map is defined in Python. That the reason it not gives me any error or not. If you not defined, okay, still you are not get the error, means that is like a predefined member. So my map is like what? One predefined member in Python or not? Yes or no? It's a predefined member in Python or not? MAPP, you not defined in Python also not defined, so that you can get the error is like what? Name MAPP is not defined. Understood everyone? Come on. Okay, so here tell me, my map is like which type? My map is like which type? If I write like this, my map is like which type? If you see this code, tell me, my map is like which type? It is like a function type or not? You are calling means it's like a function type. Yes or no? Are you able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. It is like a function type or not? Now I can understand like my map is like one predefined member in Python whose type is like a function. So can I execute this one? If I execute this one, see, map must have at least 2 arguments, he said. So you have 3 points now about the map. It's a predefined member whose type is like a function. It should have to take like 2 arguments or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, so my map is expecting 2 arguments. The 2 arguments, if I pass like this 10 comma 20, what happens? The integer object is not iterable. By seeing this error, what you can understand? By seeing this error, what you can understand? Hmm? By seeing this error, what you can understand? They are expecting not iterable. They are expecting a iterable object is like a list or something, but you are passing like what? An integer or not? Yes or no? Come on. Hmm? They are expecting like what? Okay, can anyone tell me one of the error message similar like this only in the past we discussed? What is that? Integer object is not callable. Did you remember? Integer object is not callable. Did you remember that one? When you can get that error? They're expecting a function to call, but you not pass the function. Then the time you can get the error is like what? Integer object is not callable or not? Here also same kind of error only, right? But the difference is what? They're callable, here iterable. Iterable means what? Iterate, first iteration, second iteration, third iteration, like this. Iterate the loop or not? Okay, it's like a list is there, a tuple is there, a set is there, multiple elements are there. Okay, it is going to iterate those elements first time, first iteration, first element, second iteration, second element, like that you can get it. But here they are expecting what? A iterable value, but received what? A integer value or not? They are expecting a iterable value but received an integer or not? Whenever you received an integer, then the time you can get the error is like what? Okay, integer object is not iterable. For example, if I pass like this, is it valid syntax or invalid syntax? Can anyone guess? Is it like valid syntax or invalid syntax?
Invalid.
Okay, what is the error? Here true is not defined or not? Why? Because true is not a predefined member in Python. So if it is like true, now can I write like this? Okay, now if I write it, now see this, can anyone observe here? What is that error message again? Pool object is not iterable. That means, can anyone guess? Map minimum 2 arguments it is going to take. My second argument should be what? My second argument should be what?
List.
a iterable value or not. It may be a list. Iterable is nothing but more values should be contains. Okay, iterate first one, second one, third one, like that. Okay, by using which data types we are going to hold multiple values in a single variable, list to set to tuple, like this or not? Yes or no? So that now can you come here, map, okay, 10 true. Now true is like a boolean. I'm not able to iterate the boolean object, so that boolean object is not iterable or not. Understood or not? So the second parameter should be what? Should be what? If I write like this, Sachin, can anyone guess what is the error? What is the error? Error or not error? What is the output? Is it like an error? Is it okay? Anyone? Is it like an error?
Error.
Okay, now if you come here, it is not gives me an error. Why? Because string, there has multiple characters are there, na? First iteration, first character, second iteration, second character, like that. So string we can iterate. Understood or not? String iterate. Okay, string contains what? Characters. We can iterate first character, second one, third one, fourth one, like that. Another one is what? List. We can iterate. Set. We can iterate. Tuple. We can iterate. Okay, dictionary. We can iterate. But boolean, numbers, these are not iterate. We are not able to iterate, so that one is leave it. But here my second parameter is a list. Do you have a list in your hand? Do you have a list in your hand? Tell me, do you have a list in your hand?
Marks list.
Yes, you have a right. Okay, mocks list or not? You have a mocks list. Now can I add the mocks list? Yes. Now if I run this one, okay, if I run this one, name mocks list is not defined. Why? Because this particular variable, okay, can I run again? Can I run again? And these stuff, just I want to delete it. Okay, you can delete all this stuff. Okay, now? Okay, now can you come here? See, it is not gives me an error, but it is not gives me an expected output or not. Yes or no? It is not gives me any error. At the same time, it is not gives me any expected output or not. Yes or no? Okay, but your expected output is what? Can anyone guess? Your expected output is what? Come on. I have a mocks, okay, student mocks. I want to perform the same operation, right? I want to add 5 mocks to each and every student. Finally, I want again the mocks list, updated mocks list or not. But did you get the updated mocks list? See this? Are you able to see updated mocks list? No, right? No, right? That means you have to do something more or not. You are not getting the error, but it is not gives me an expected output. To get the expected output, you have to do something more or not. What you have to do? Can anyone guess? You have to perform some operation, right? What operation you have to perform? Can anyone? You have to perform one operation, right? In the first iteration, first value is like 400. What operation you want me to perform? What operation you want me to perform?
Add.
You have to add 5, right? Okay, second iteration, second value you can get it. You have to add 5, right? Okay, that means I want to perform some operation or not. For that, I have to write some lines of code, 1 liner, 2 liner, that's okay. Okay, now if you want to write some functionality, if you want to write some lines of code, which place is the right place to write the lines of code to handle some functionality? Here the functionality is like adding 5. So this functionality, if you want to handle, okay, where you want me to write that statements, either 1 or 10 or 20 statements, whatever it is, where you want me to write? If you want to write some functionality related statements, which place is the right place? Functions, right? Functions or not? So that can I write, okay, can I use one function to perform my operation or not? What is my operation? Can anyone guess? Okay, plus 5 for each and every element or not? So here I want to add one function. Can anyone guess? Do we have any space? Here just I added like a 10. It is not gives me any error. That's okay, fine. But I want to handle some functionality. It is accepted 10 means it is going to accept the function also, string also, some other also or not. So my first parameter I want to use like what now? To handle some functionality, I want to write a function. So can anyone tell me? There has two types of functions. One is like named is there, another one is like anonymous also there. It means lambda. Which one you want? Come on. Which one it is going to support? Can anyone guess?
Anonymous.
No, it is not like that. It is accepting a function. See, already I told, right? I want to handle some functionality means I need a function. That function can be what? Anonymous function. That function can be what? Named function also or not. When you can go with the anonymous, when you can go with the named, can you decide? To my functionality, I needed like 10 lines of code. Then you want me to go with the anonymous? The anonymous maximum, how many lines of code it is going to accept? Anonymous, how many lines of code it is going to accept in Python? Only one, right? Only one line or not? Yes or no? Okay. In your requirement, I wow, only one line of code is there. Then the time, yes, you can go with the anonymous or named. In your requirement, there has 10 lines of code is there. Then the time you want me to go with the anonymous or named. In my functionality, required like 10 lines of code. Then you want me to go with the anonymous or named. Decide. Come on, fast. My functionality requires 10 lines of code. Then the time you want me to go with the anonymous or named?
Named.
Named, right? But if you have one line of code, you can go either named or either anonymous. You have more than one line of code, you should have to go with what? Named only or not? Yes or no? Agree with me, all? So both you can try. Okay, can I go with the lambda function first? Okay, can anyone tell me the syntax for the lambda? Can anyone tell me the syntax for the lambda? Come on. Lambda. Next. Come on. Lambda. Can anyone guess? Something, right? Something. This is my valid statement or not? This is my valid statement or not? Yes or no? Tell me. This is my valid statement or not? Come on. Lambda function wise, it is valid or invalid? 100% valid, right? 100% valid. Okay, can I run this one? What happened? We'll see. Okay, now you only, by seeing this one, you only conclude one statement. Now see this. Now if you come here, okay, see, it is valid or invalid? Come on.
Yeah.
It is like valid, right? It is like valid or not? But still, it is not my requirement, right? Did you perform any required operation? Did you perform any required operation? Tell me. Did you perform
No.
any required operation? Still no, right? Okay. Now, if you want to perform some operation, okay, plus 5. I know that. Okay, plus 5. Plus 5. If you want to add 5, first of all, the existing, okay, that means the value, first the existing value is required or not? How we can get the existing value? That is the question, right? Yes or no? How one function get the values from outside? How one function can get the values from outside?
Through arguments.
As a parameter, right? While calling as a parameter or not? So if it is like lambda, how we can get the parameter? How we can get the parameter? Like this, right? Now, once you have the parameter, think, once you have a parameter with that value, what operation you want me to perform to that particular value? You have to add plus 5 or not? Yes or no? Come on, possibility there or not there? Yes or no? Now, if you come here, if I run this one, still, what's my output? Still, what's my output? Come on, still, what is my output? It is returns me a map object, something like this or not? Something like this or not? Now, the map returns me this value. If anything returns any value, any function returns any value, how we can hold that value? Can anyone guess? How we can hold that value?
Variable.
Okay, by using one variable or not? Okay, my result something like this, something like this. Now, yes. So what is my result? My result is this one. Okay, your expected output should be which type? Can anyone guess? I thought like I have the result, some result here. I performed some operation. Okay, come on. My output should be which type in this case? Can anyone guess? My output should be which type in this case?
List.
again a list, right? So I have some result is there. Can you try to convert that result into the list? If you get the output, that's okay. If not, we can fix it. Now see that whatever the result, yes, internally you have the actual output, but the output format they not mentioned. Based on your requirement, you can convert it. My requirement is I want to convert into list. Now tell me the list, list, if I write like this, will it gives an error or not gives me an error? Will it gives an error or not gives me an error? Come on, list, will it gives me an error? Not giving. If I write like this, okay, now see this, it gives me an error. If you get the error, what it means? You not defined. At the same time, you not defined. That is the first point. The next one is what? At the same time, it is not defined by Python also. Then only you can get the error or not. Now if you come here, list, did you define anywhere? Did you define anywhere the list variable? See this? Did you define anywhere? No, I didn't. But still you are not get the error. That means my list is which type? Okay, that list is which member? Who defined this member? You not. Still you not get the error. So that my list is what? So that my list is what? It's a predefined member or not? Yes or no? It's a predefined member or not? Agreed with me? Come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that it's a predefined member. It is which type? Okay, if I write like this, yes, if I write like this, it gives me some output. You are using like this means this is which type? My list is which type? Come on, you are calling means my list is which type? Simply
Function.
function. Okay, we are going to see that one at the time of list discussion. Okay, now if it is a function, while calling I can pass some data also or not. Possibility there or not there. Now if you come here, okay, go to the result. Now can I run all this stuff? Okay, now run this one and see my result. Now can I add this result to this guy? Now you can get the output is this one. So this is my expected output or not? Yes or no? You performed the same operation on each and every element. Now, can anyone explain me in the background what, how it is going to work? Anyone in the background? Very simple thing. Mocks list and this function, both you are giving to whom? Both values you given to whom? Come on. Both the values, mocks list, lambda function. These two values you given to whom?
Map.
Map. That is the first thing you given to the map or not. Okay, what my map is going to do? Can anyone guess what my map is going to do? What my map is going to do? In the mocks list, first time it is going to take the first value. What is my first value? Come on, what is my first value? 400 is the first value. Okay, first time it is going to take the first value. Can we write like this here so that we can understand? So the internal, the background procedure, how it is happen means, come to this. Now come here. This is the one. Okay now. So you given a function and a list to my map or not. Which function you given? Lambda function. In future, some other function, named function also you can give. So what my map is going to do? What my map is going to do? First, take the first value from mocks list. Okay, what is my first value? What is my first value? 400. 400 is the first value. And come on, can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? Come on, can anyone guess? Pass that value to the function as a argument or not? Yes or no? See, take the first value from the list. Okay, how it is going to take? By using for loop, he is going to return the code. Take the first value from the list. What is my first value? Come on, 400. And pass that 400 to whom? Pass that 400 to whom? Pass that 400 to the function or not? function or not as a argument. Whenever you pass 400, okay, so that x value is what? That x value is what? Come on. That x value is what? 400. 400 plus 5. 405. Now, lambda function, okay, while calling, he passed 400. So lambda function, whatever the value, by default, it's like what? Return value or not. So my lambda function returns me what in the first iteration? Lambda function returns me what in the first iteration? Can anyone guess?
405.
405 or not? That return value go to where? Come on. That return value go to where?
List.
No. Again, come on. One function gives me some return value, right? To whom it is going to return a value? To whom he is going to give? Who call that function? He only get the value or not? Return value. Yes or no? One function is there. When you can get the return value? One function is there. When you can get the return value? Whenever you call, right? So here, who call this lambda function? Who call? See this. Take the first value. This is the map functionality. Map, what he is going to do? Take the first value from the mocks list, in this case 400, pass that value to the function as an argument. Okay, come on. Here you can add, call the function by passing that value as a first argument or not. Yes or no? Yes or no? Call the function. Which function? Come on, in this case, which function? Come on. In this case, which function he is calling? Call the function is nothing but first argument, right? First okay, argument, in this case lambda function. Call the lambda function, okay, by passing that value as a argument. So whenever he call this function by passing 400 as a argument, okay, what it returns? Lambda function returns me what? Come on, lambda function returns me what? 405 or not? Yes or no? Okay, here, okay, lambda function returns lambda function return 405 or not? Whom he return? Lambda function return the value to whom? Come on, who is the caller? Who call the lambda function? Map, right? Okay, this lambda function map called or not in the first iteration by passing first value, so that my lambda function returns 405, that is go to the caller. Who is the caller? Map is the caller or not? So my map has which value now? In the first iteration, okay, map has which value? In the first iteration, map has 405 or not? Yes or no? Okay, now first iteration is done. Now come to the second iteration. What is my second value? Whatever it is, that second value, what he is going to do? Map, he call again the lambda function by passing that value as an argument or not. Once again he called, now the value is like what? 300. 300 plus 5, 305. Go to where? Lambda function returns that value to whom? Map, right? So that now first time 405, next time is like 338, for example. 333 is my last value, okay, previous value, plus 5 means 338 or not. Like this, how many times it is going to iterate? How many times my mocks list is going to iterate? 5 times, right? Okay, so that how many times my lambda function is going to call? 5 times it's going to call. How many values my lambda function give it to the map? 5 values or not? So all iterations are completed. Finally, my map returns me how many values? Come on, once all iterations completed, Okay, map return those 5 values or not. Those 5 values to whom? Returns 5 values. Who hold those 5 values? Who is the caller for the map? You called. You hold those 5 values or not? So you have those 5 values in the result now. But in which format? Not in your expected format. Values are there, but your expected format is what? How you are expecting the data, final data in the lista, setta, tupula? How you are expecting? Come on. You are expecting the result in the set format. Okay, you're expecting the result in the set format. You are expecting the result in the tuple format in future. Okay, tuple format like this. Different methods are there. You are expecting the data. Okay, if it is like a map, you are expecting the data in which format? Come on, you given the list, and they also provide me what? List only. So you have to convert that particular result in which format? List format or not. So finally you can get the list with what? With your updated values or not? Yes or no? So can I run this one? Now come here. Now come here. You can get this result or not? Yes or no? Come on, agreed with me? Understood everyone? Okay, see again. The first one is what? Can anyone tell me? First point is what? Where is that? Yeah. First point, tell me. Map, take the first value from the mocks list. The first iteration. Okay, it is like a first iteration only. The same, all the iterations repeat like this one. In the first iteration, tell me. Take the first value from the mocks list. That value he passed to whom? That value he passed to whom? That particular value. Okay, he take the first value and pass it to whom? To my lambda function or not? Okay, he called the function. First parameter is a function, right? He called the function by passing that value as an argument or not. Whenever you call the function by passing 400, 400 plus 5 is what? Okay, you are calling a function means function body will execute. 400 plus 5, 405. Lambda function, this value is going to return value or not. So lambda function return the value. Lambda function return value go to where? Lambda function return value go to where? Go to the caller. Who called this lambda function? Map, na? So that go to that particular 405 to my map. So what my map is going to do? What my map is going to do in the first iteration? Okay, map has 405, he stored somewhere. Now the second iteration. What is my second iteration? Second value. Again he called the lambda. Now it is like a second value. What is my second value? What is my second value? Come on. What is my second value? Whatever it is. Okay, the second value go to my map or not? Okay, here you can say second value go to my map or not. Once my second value go to the map, okay, my second value is like 450. 450 plus 5, 455. Again that 455 go to my map. Like this, all iterations completed. Okay, till then map maintaining all the values. Once my all iterations completed, all the values written by map. Whenever my map returns, my map function returns the value, you can hold that value with one variable or not. So I hold that value with one variable. So finally all the values where it is. Finally all the values where it is in the result or not. So my result is not an expected output. So you are expecting in which format the result? You are expecting the data in which format? List format. So can you convert that one into the list? That's it. So finally you can get it or not. Yes or no? Come on, agree with me all, or come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now small question. Say this is my mocks list, no? Mocks list. Okay, now how many students got like 450 above marks, 440 above marks? How many students got 440 above marks? Come on. How many students got? 440
Three.
above marks. This guy, and this guy, right? So those 440 above marks only I want. Remaining I don't want. So my output should be what? So my output should be what? Come on. So my output should be what? 450, 550, and 444 or not. That means I have a condition that is like what? The marks which is greater than 440, those marks only I want in the list. Remaining I don't want. So you have to do what? I have all the student marks. You have to filter the marks based on your condition or not. Yes or no? For that purpose, which method is there? Come on. For that purpose, which method is there? We have one more method is there. What is that method? Filter. Now, can I click on this? Now see this filter. I didn't define, but still I didn't get the error. So my filter is which member? It's like a user defined or predefined. You not defined, still you didn't get the error, so that my filter is which kind of method? You not defined, at the same time you not defined, at the same time it is not gives me an error, so that my filter is what? It's like a predefined member or not. So map and filter syntactically there has no change. Okay, let's go. Now can I call it? Okay, so my filter is which type? My filter is which type? Come on, read it. My filter is which type? Function. Can you read this error? What is that error? Same kind of error only you can get the map also or not. Okay, how many arguments expecting? How many arguments expecting my filter? 2. So can I write like 10 comma 20? Now can I click on enter? Now same error message. What is that? Integer object is not iterable. Now this is also integer, this is also integer. So which one is like iterable value? Can I change it to something different data type? Now if I run this one, bool object is not iterable. That means it is not a check for the first one. First one can be any value. It is for the second one. Second one should be what? Iterable variable or not? Iterable object or not? Yes or no? So my true is what? Not iterable. It's like an normal value. 10 is what? Not iterable. List to set to tuple, these all are like iterable values or not. Iterable is nothing but which contains multiple values. First time first value, second time second value. That kind of data format is there. That is like a iterable object. So here my bool true value is a bool. Object is not iterable or not. Yes or no? So my second parameter for the filter is what? My second parameter for the filter is what? Come on. My second parameter for the filter is what?
Boolean.
Uh, Here boolean only. If I write the boolean, it gives me an error. So that it should be what? A iterable object or not? Iterable object or not? Tell me some iterable objects. What you know? List, set, tuple, dict, string. These all are like iterable objects or not? Okay. So now I in my hand, based on my requirement, one iterable object is there or not there? Yes. Now can I run it? No error, nothing. No error, nothing. But is it your expected output? Is it your expected output? Okay, filter returns me some data. So can I hold the data with one variable? Yes. So can I convert into the list? If I write like this, then what happened? Okay, integer object is not callable, something like this. It gives me an error or not? Yes or no? Integer object is not callable. We can come back again to this particular error, but compare map and filter and tell me. Come on. Now, what operation you want me to perform? Can anyone guess? What operation you want me to perform? Tell me, what operation you want me to perform? Come on. What operation you want me to perform? First
Greater
time,
than.
yeah, first time, first value, if you get it, you have to do what? Greater than 440 or not. Second time, greater than 440 or not. Third iteration, greater than 440 or not. Like this, you have to check it or not. Yes or no? So you have to perform some operation. That means you have to write some functionality or not. That functionality can be one liner, 10 lines, it is not a matter. If you want to write some functionality, either one or more lines of code, what you required, function is required. So here I want like a function. At the same time, by seeing this particular error message also, you can understand like what integer object is not callable. That means this is able to call or not call. Now, if I write like this, okay, can I run this? Now you not get the error. But at the time of converting into list, now see this string object is not callable. That means here expecting what? Here expecting what? Come on. Here it is expecting what? The first parameter expecting what by seeing this error
Function.
message? Function or not? Function or not? Okay, we can come back. Okay, one more point is there, we can come back later. Now first you can compare with map and tell me the answer. Now it is like a function. So which function you want? Which function you want? Tell me. Which function you want? Named or anonymous? Any function, that is not an issue. Any function. So can I go with the lambda? Okay, we'll see later. We'll see later with named also. Lambda. Next. First iteration, first value, you can get it. So can I hold it? Yes. Okay. What is output? Which are greater than 440 or not? Yes or no? So syntactically, first one is done. Now, if you come here, if I execute this one, first parameter is like what? Function only, so that this kind of error you not get. Now, if you come here, now see this. The values which are greater than 440, you can get it or not? Yes or no? Come on. Syntactically, both are like valid or not? Syntactically, both are like, okay, here. Syntactically, this is like what? This is like both are like similar. I mean, okay, map and filter, syntactically, both are like same or not? Yes or no? Okay, here my filter returns me based on your requirement, it is going to filter the data, but the map returns me what? How many elements are there? Same list, same count elements, you can get it with what? Performing some common operation plus 5, add something, whatever it is. So this is the filter and this is the map. Now you understood, right? Can anyone tell me the one line answers for map and filter? When you can go with the map, when you can go with the filter? Very simple. I have a sequence of values. Okay, I have a list of values. I have in the tuple some values are there. I have some elements in the list. If you want to perform the same operation on each and every element, this is the requirement for you, then you can go with what? If you want to perform the same operation on each and every element in the list, then you can go with what?
Map.
Map or not? Map or not? Okay. Now, I have a list of elements are there based on the condition. Based on the condition, okay, if you want to get some elements, not like all, based on the condition, if you want to filter some data, then that time I have a list of elements or there based on the condition. If you want to filter the data, then the time you can go with what? Filter or not? Yes or no? Agreed with me all or? Come on. All are agreed? So now you can tell map first argument should be what? Map first
Function.
argument should be what? Function only. Otherwise, whenever you convert, then the time you can get the error or not. I will show you that error. Second argument should be what? Second argument should be what?
Object.
No, second argument.
Iterable object.
Iterable object, you are right. Iterable object, that is the generic okay name, right? Iterable object that can be list, that can be set, tuple, whatever it is. Yes or no? Okay, I'm going to write some code. Just you can tell me the syntax is valid or invalid. Okay, na? So listen carefully. Map only I'm going to take. First, at this moment, it is checking for which variable? At this moment, it's checking for which argument you can say. At this moment, if I run this one, what is the error? You can get it. Come on, fast.
Object is not retrievable.
Int is not.
Yeah, integer object is not iterable. That means in this particular statement, whenever you call the map, map is not using the first argument. Map first time he used like what, which argument? Second argument only or not. That's the reason it gives me an error like what, integer object is not iterable. Okay, if I write like this, it is valid or invalid? Come on, it is valid or invalid?
Valid.
100% valid. Okay, at this moment it is 100% valid. Okay, when he focused on the first parameter, map returns me some data na, map returns me some data, so that can I hold the data? Yes or no? This is valid or invalid? This is valid or invalid? Come on, fast. This is valid or invalid? Tell me.
Valid.
Valid, right? Now I am expecting the result in the list format, right? Whenever you try to convert, then that time it is looking for what, first parameter or not. Now what is the error? You can get it. What is the error? You can get it. Come on, what is the error? You can get it. Integer object is not callable. So this is my integer, right? 10. For example, if I remove this one, I added like true. Now you can get like what? Now you can get like what? Boolean object is not callable or not. Understood? Whenever you use map, he focused on the second argument. Whenever you converted your map values in the list, then only your actual operation is going to perform, and he is going to call the first parameter or not. What is my first parameter? He is expecting by seeing this one, by seeing this error message. What is my first parameter? Come on. Bool is not callable means my first parameter should be what? Come on, if you want an actual output, my first parameter should be what? By seeing this function or not. Which function? Lambda na? Lambda function na? Named function na? Any function. Now at this moment I want to use like a lambda. At this moment I want to use like a lambda. Okay, now can I write like a, okay, print, okay, VTS. Is it valid or invalid? Come on, is it valid or invalid? If I click, okay, line number 53, okay, this one, if I execute, is it valid or invalid? If it is like valid, what is my output? Anyone
VTS.
guess? VTS, how many times? Now, okay, lambda function take 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. That means, see, he is giving me first value to the lambda. Are you hold that value? In Python, somebody is giving, you have to hold it. You are expecting somebody has to pass. Both should match or not. Yes, no. First point, yes or no. In Python, one function you return with one parameter. Who call that function, he should have to pass how many parameters? One value, one parameter has to pass. Yes or no? Here, my map, first iteration, first value passed to whom? Come on. In my first iteration, first value passed to whom? Lambda. If you pass some value, you not hold. So you should have to hold it or not. Yes or no? Otherwise in Python, it gives me an error. So 0 positional argument, but 1 was given. First value, first iteration, first given. So you not hold, so that it gives me an error or not. Now it is valid or invalid. Come on. See, all the error messages you have to remember. Come on, valid or invalid? He given first iteration, first value. You hold it. No problem at all. Body can be anything. Now, what is my output? Anyone guess?
VTS with
3 times.
Okay, VTS printed 3 times. That's okay. But why this none? That is my question. Anyone guess?
It's not returning anything.
Yeah, you're right. Now you printed the value, but you not, my print is like just printed the statement, but it is not a value, right? Okay, so the written value of print method is what? My print not written anything. My print method just print the value, that's it. So if you not written anything, what is my default value? What is my default value?
None.
None is my
None.
default value or not. That the reason you can get like a none or not. Agreed? Come on. Okay. Now, can anyone guess? Now, can anyone guess? Now, come on, analyze.
One.
One.
First time
Map.
we will get 7.
First time. Okay. Final output. Map always returns me how many elements? The list of same elements. So first time iteration first one. Second iteration
2.
third iteration 3.
3.
So that you can get the output is like what? 1, 2, 3 or not? Yes or no? Now, come on.
Not one. Not
One
three.
not
Not.
one, one not two, and
Okay, 1.
one not three or not. Okay, na? Okay. We can elaborate something more in tomorrow's session. Okay. Just you can go through our map. Okay, map